The weekend recap is back. Hello, my name's Adrian, and I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you were able to watch some of the football that was on display. There was a lot of it, and a lot of it was very entertaining, and if you didn't, then you're here in the right place. Italy hasn't started yet, but we'll go through the top 5 leagues as we usually do. 4 leagues this time. The Premier League is back. A change in the cast of characters, a change in some of the coaches, but the same old Arsenal, isn't it? Arsenal went away to Brentford, where they witnessed top-flight football for the first time since 1947, and they were treated to a great display from the Bees. In their Premier League debut, Brentford beat Arteta's Arsenal 2-0, getting their first EPL clean sheet, of course, and kicking off their campaign in the perfect fashion. Arsenal looked poor. Their new signing Ben White doing okay as far as ball progression, but looking like he has some settling in to do defensively. He could not handle the physical presence of Ivan Toney. That man's going to be dangerous for Brentford, as he dominated White in knocking the ball on and holding it up. Then there was Manchester United, who looked absolutely brilliant up against Leeds. This Leeds side that, as I said in my preview to the Premier League, it either goes well or it goes horribly wrong. And perhaps United are a bit of a bogey team for Bielsa at this point. You all remember that heavy loss from last season as well? McTominay masterclass. In this iteration of United versus Leeds, it was a Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba masterclass. One in finishing and one in assists. Pogba resembles what a lot of people will say was, national team Pogba, as he managed to reach the dominant levels he is absolutely capable of in this match. But he rarely exhibits those for Manchester United, at least not to this level. 4 assists in this game for Pogba, 3 goals for Bruno, and hey, a goal for Fred as well. I mean, that sort of tells you a lot about this match, doesn't it? Leeds were absolutely all over the shop when it came to defending, standing off the United players too much. United players who happen to be brilliant on the day and have shown time and time again that they are capable of running up the score when given the opportunity to do so. 5-1 the final there. Rafa Benitez got a victory in his Premier League opener for Everton, taking on a Saints side that I personally fear the worst for. They have such a difficult opening to the season, and if they were able to hold on to what was a 1-0 lead early on for them and get a win there, that would have been massive. But Everton stormed back with second half goals from Richarlison, Doucouré, and Calvert-Lewin. Great 3-1 win for Everton, as Benitez will need even more of those to change the opinions of the Toffees. A poor first half from Wolves versus Leicester ultimately cost them, as the defending FA Cup and Community Shield champions squeezed out a 1-0 win at home against Bruno Lage's side. The second half was an absolute onslaught from Wolves, as they will have been left frustrated by Leicester's incredible defending, which saw them block 6 shots in the second half alone. 14 attempts from Wolves in that second half, 3 on target, 6 blocked. Clean sheet for Schmeichel in a 1-0 win. Both Chelsea and Liverpool got 3-0 wins against Palace and Norwich respectively. Norwich, Luis Suarez's favorite team to score against for Liverpool. But for the 5th consecutive season, Mo Salah managed to score on the opening weekend of the Premier League. In fact, Salah was pretty brilliant this match, as he grabbed 2 assists to complement his goal. His goal was the 3rd of this match. The opener came from Jota, the second from Firmino, who came on to replace the Portuguese attacker after 61 minutes and scored moments later. Solid 3-0 win for Liverpool. Norwich just not quite there going forward. There was times when they managed to nullify Liverpool going forward. They got it behind on a couple of occasions, but just not up to snuff to this Liverpool side. A side who have been so happy to have seen Van Dijk back again. Van Dijk partnered Matip for this one, by the way. Chelsea welcomed Patrick Vieira back to the Premier League with a 3-0 thumping, in which Palace, there's going to be quite the adjustment process. New manager. Many veterans sold or allowed to walk last summer. They'll have to, this summer I should say, they'll have to transition faster than this though. Alonso, Pulisic, and Chalobah with the goals. A very emotion Trevor Chalobah. Love to see him getting that goal. West Ham continued their great play with a 4-2 victory over Newcastle United, an absolute blitz from them in the second half, due in part to the, solid play of Said Benrahma. 3 goals from the Hammers in a 13-minute stretch in the second half. Benrahma involved in 2 of those. Brighton with a 2-1 victory over Burnley to start off well, and a false start for Manchester City this weekend, as Tottenham got a 1-0 win against them thanks to the brilliant Heung-min Son. Tottenham in general were very good. It was more than just Heung-min Son. Nuno is clearly the Guardiola antithesis, the anti-Guardiola, and his brand of counter-attacking football was far too much for City to handle. Every time Spurs went forward with Dele on the left, Mora through the middle, Bergwijn on the right, and Son as a striker, they looked like they could score every time they went forward, doing an excellent job of getting men up the pitch fast enough to outnumber City's defenders. 1-0 Spurs, great start from them, and they did it without Kane, of course. I want to give a big shout out to Spurs for their game management in this one as well. In the first half, the defense looked suspect, but in the second, they were an improvement in all sectors, and it makes you wonder just how much better they could be with Romero, a settled Romero, who made a cameo appearance, by the way, at the heart of this back line. Great control from Spurs, great debut from Spurs, great to hear 60,000 fans in the stadium as well. In Spain, I was so happy to see Atletico play with that back three once again. I was nervous that Diego Simeone would be defensive man once again, but they went for it in a very difficult opener away to Celta Vigo. Angel Correa's fantastic year continued as he scored a brace to Santos Thiago Aspas' equalizer in the 59th minute. Carrasco came close to making it 3-1 right at the very end, right before this match broke out into a massive brawl with Mario Hermoso and Hugo Mayo both getting sent off in the fracas. But this was a fun match, regardless. Even Atletico Madrid's fitness coach got a red card. Real Madrid started off Ancelotti era version 2.0 with a comfortable win over Deportivo Alaves, a team who I actually thought would go down last season, but just managed to hang on. Bale, Benzema, and Hazard started this game, and Benzema was, as expected, the best of the bunch. However, the fitness of Hazard will have been encouraging. He played fairly well, all things considered, even getting an assist for Benzema's opener on the other side of halftime. It was interesting to see where David Alaba would be utilized, and for this match at least, he played down the left of a back four. Back to his roots, left back. Nacho and Militão as the center backs, Vasquez on the right. And Militão didn't have a fantastic match, did he? But anyway, 4-1 in the end. It was great to see Hazard out there and not getting injured. Ancelotti will be happy. Valencia were truly against it, up against Getafe, when they started the La Liga season on Friday night with a red card after just 3 minutes. Guillamon, the unfortunate recipient, what a way to start, but they still managed to win the match 1-0 from a Soler penalty in the 11th minute. Getafe with a barrage throughout the match. They hit the woodwork in the second half. No goals to speak of, however. In fact, Valencia with the better chances in my opinion. Barcelona. It's crazy, man. Gerard Piqué announces he will take a 50% pay cut, which allowed both Eric Garcia and Memphis Depay to get registered for La Liga. The league confirmed that it was all good. They got the all clear, and so both of them actually started against Real Sociedad. Piqué doing the most to further his legend status within the club and the city, really. He said he would do whatever it took to benefit the club, including leaving if they needed him to, and he stood by his word. Thankfully, it didn't come to him having to exit as well. But in the match, Braithwaite, Depay, and Griezmann started at the top of a 4-3-3, and Depay played Braithwaite through after 30 seconds, forcing a save out of Sociedad's keeper. And honestly, the Barcelona onslaught continued from there, didn't it? Things certainly looked good in this La Liga debut for Memphis, as he showed just how much quality he really has, getting an assist from a Piqué goal. Speaking of, furthering your legend when it comes to Piqué. And I mean, even before that opener, Antoine Griezmann nearly scored twice, as he had an acrobatic effort go just wide and a near-post flicked header go off of the bar. So it was no surprise to see Braithwaite double the lead right before the half, was it? And Braithwaite again, after not scoring for so long for Barcelona, doubled his tally after a Jordi Alba ball into the box, took a deflection, and then the goal was just begging for him to smash it in. With all the links away, he certainly looked good in Euro and looked good in this match as well. Sociedad took a long time to respond, and in the final 15 minutes, they made sure to punish Barcelona for their very shaky defense and inability to clear their lines. Oyarzabal scored a stunning free kick from 25 yards out, making it 3-2, and very nervy. But while Braithwaite couldn't grab the hat-trick, he did kill off the game with a fantastic assist to Sergi Roberto, thus ending the Sociedad surge and finishing the match off 4-2. Great stuff from Barcelona. They looked extremely strong against what was a strong opponent, really. Bar maybe, a 10-15 minute period towards the end of the second half when Sociedad had a bit of a regain. And finally, in Spain, Lucas Zidane was sent off in the 16th minute for Rayo Vallecano, leading to a Youssef En-Nesyri game winner in the 19th minute for Sevilla. However, it was Eric Lamela that stole the show as he scored in the 55th minute when he was set up again in the 79th by En-Nesyri. This should be fun to watch, shouldn't it? Lamela back at it at Sevilla, getting 2 goals and 3 points in his Sevilla debut. Bayern kicked off the Bundesliga on Friday night with a draw against Borussia Mönchengladbach, now coached by Adi Hütter. You'll remember as the Bundesliga managerial merry-go-round was spinning at a deadly pace in 2021. Dayot Upamecano, the new guy, started for Bayern alongside Niklas Süle. in what was Julian Nagelsmann's debut at Bayern Munich, while who else but Robert Lewandowski got the goal for Bayern Munich in the 42nd minute, which was actually an equalizer. Gladbach's Alassane Plea scored the opener in the 10th minute, and this one stayed that way at 1-1. Union Berlin and Bayer Leverkusen, 1-1. Arminia Bielefeld and Freiburg, 0-0. But thankfully, it wasn't all draws. Saturday was an absolute goal fest beyond, those few draws that started off the league. First, there was Hoffenheim handing FC Augsburg a drubbing with a 4-0 win away for Hoffenheim. Please, Tajon Buchanan, do not go to Augsburg. Go to Belgium, man. You saw how well that worked out for Jonathan David, right? Just go to Belgium. Then there was VfB Stuttgart taking on newly promoted Greuther Fürth and handing them an absolute spanking. A public spanking in front of all their friends and family, beating them 5-1. A brace from Marc-Oliver Kempf, Borna Sosa with a hat trick of assists. Great work from Stuttgart, looking to build on the progress they made last season when they finished in 9th, but could have easily finished in a European place if not for a bit of a breakdown at the end of the season, where they lost 3 of their final 5 matches. And finally, on Saturday, we had Borussia Dortmund beating up on Eintracht Frankfurt as Marco Rosa's side looked fantastic, man. Erling Haaland was seriously in the mood. He got 2 goals and 2 assists. Marco Reus got in on the fun with a goal and an assist, and Thorgan and Reina contributed as well. Great stuff from Borussia Dortmund, and what a relief to play in front of 25,000 supporters. I mean, that's the capacity of the Yellow Wall alone, but 25,000 is better than nothing. Mark van Bommel got his first Bundesliga victory as a manager as Wolfsburg defeated VfL Bochum 1-0. Not the most convincing display from Wolfsburg, as Bochum were down to 10 men after just 4 minutes, and while Wout Weghorst failed to convert the ensuing penalty, he made up for it in the 22nd minute. There are some that believe this job may just be a little beyond Mark van Bommel. Wolfsburg is a big job in Germany. They finished in 4th last season, you'll remember, so we'll have to wait and see. His last job finished without a single piece of silverware, and he was sacked in December of 2019. That was at PSV. So yeah, we'll see. One of the surprises of the weekend would have been RB Leipzig losing 1-0 away to Mainz. Not a nice way for Jesse Marsch to start his Bundesliga career as Mainz continue to improve under Bo Svensson. They're looking really good coming into the season. After their narrow escape last season, I wouldn't be surprised if they get around 10th or 11th this season, and there are some major upsets out there. All right, last stop. France, you have gained the best player in the world, and he looks pretty happy in training so far. Lots of Argentinians, lots of extremely talented players for him to play alongside, and lots of fans trying to catch a glimpse of him everywhere he goes in the city. Messi didn't make it into the squad for PSG, nor did Sergio Ramos or Donnarumma just yet, but they still managed to get a relatively comfortable victory over Strasbourg. I say relatively comfortable because when they were 3-0 up, they let Kevin Gamero, shout out to him, Jimmy Conrad legend, and his Strasbourg homies get back into the game and make it 3-2. They got one late on, PSG that is, to, still win the game 4-2, but there's some room for concern as PSG's defense looked vulnerable on the counter. It's not the people that they have in defense, it's the system. But anyway, the defending champions Lille were trounced at home against Nice, 4-0. Rough. They started so poorly as one of Denmark's heroes from the summer, Kasper Dolberg, looks like his form is carried over for Nice. He scored after a minute, then Hicham Badoui made it 2-0 after 5 minutes, and with Dolberg winning a penalty on the stroke of halftime, it was 3-0 at the half. Insane. Kasper Dolberg later added a second to cap off a strong performance, not only for himself, but his side. 4-0 against the defending champions, and Lille are winless after 2 matches. In fact, a lot of top teams from last season are still winless after 2 matches. PSG is one of 3 sides that has won both of their matches, while Lyon this weekend were humbled by Angers, a team that many believed would be going down this season. Angers won 3-0 against Peter Bosch's Lyon. The Bosch effect. How many more clubs are going to give this guy a run before they find out that he probably isn't quite worthy of managing, a top side in the respective leagues? It's embarrassing stuff there from Lyon. AS Monaco are also struggling, however, as they lost 1-0 away to Lorient thanks to a 31st minute penalty for Les Merlus. And Monaco were never able to pull one back, no matter how much possession they had, like 72%, or how many strikes they attempted to launch at goal. Lorient were extremely compact and didn't give much away to Monaco in this one. At the moment, 2 of the clubs who are believed to be the candidates for relegation are actually leading the league, those being Angers and Clermont, who defeated Troyes and are yet to concede a goal, just like Angers. Still a long way to go. Alright guys, there it is, the first weekend recap of the season. It's great to be back, and I hope you enjoyed all the football. I can't wait to get more content out to you guys this week and really get into the swing of things this season. My name's Adrian, this is Rabona TV's weekend recap, and we'll see you later. Ciao!